let's go to space. So if you're thinking about how to have a successful journey from here to Mars, then there's a lot of different things that you have to solve for. And you're clearly in a different box in that case. So the scientists at NASA thought long and hard about this during the 60s and 70s. How can we ensure that we're able to have a successful space journey if we go to Mars or beyond? Many things would have to come together and to make that work. One of the things that you have to think about is how to recycle carbon. And recycling carbon is actually the same as how do you produce food? It's the same type of question because we're a carbon-based life form and we get our carbon through food. So they had an interesting solution for this, and along with this out-of-the-box thinking, it involved the use of single-celled organisms, of microorganisms. So just like plants, but single cell, one cell instead of multiple cells. And so the solution that they came up with their out-of-the-box thinking was to create a closed-loop carbon cycle on board a spacecraft. And it would go like this. Astronauts would breathe out carbon dioxide, just as we're all doing right now. And these microbes would use that carbon dioxide, once it's captured, as nutrients. And along with hydrogen from water and some other nutrients, just like plants, these microbial seeds would grow, and food would be produced. And that food would then be consumed by the astronauts, who would breathe out that carbon from that food in the form of CO2, which the microbes would then use to make more food from the microbial seeds, and so on. And so a closed-loop carbon cycle would be created. And the benefit of this approach versus plants are that, like plants, you can make nutritious food, but these microorganisms grow much faster. They grow in hours instead of months, and they use minimal resources. So this was an interesting thought experiment that they did early on as they were thinking about how one would have a successful trip to Mars or beyond.